Hello, this is Ivana.
This is Yao.
And you're listening to the podcast Life in Black and White.
And all the shades in between.
We share all things life, relationships, marriage, parenting, race, and much more. If you enjoy listening to us, then please follow or subscribe to this podcast. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook under Life in Black and White. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Life in Black and White. Hello, Yao.
Hi, everyone.
I'm always laughing because you should hear us before I press record. It's usually funnier than we want it to be or intended to be. But today we promised to deliver this episode called How to Raise a Kind and Resilient Child in 2024. And finally, we are here to deliver it to you, and we are very, very excited about this one, or at least I am, because we have so much to share. We'll try and keep it as short as possible, but it's a big subject and it impacts so much and so many people. So we'll make sure to cover as much as possible. But before we dive in, I want to ask Yao how he is.
I'm fine, thank you.
You look very tired.
I am, but I'm fine, thank you.
He's always fine. He's one of those men who are always fine. He could be dying and he says, I'm fine. Unlike me, no, I'm completely different. You say I'm a hypochondriac. Is that so?
No, you're fine.
My grandma was hypochondriac, so it's in the family. Okay. And one of our sons is as well, so. So, by the way, it's just us today. We have no guests, so hopefully you're fine with this, what you call it, mixture, that we always mix things up. It's not just either us or just guests. I think it's better when it's you spice it up a bit, and then everyone can find what they prefer. So today is just us, and we're going to talk to you about how to raise a kind and resilient child in 2024. I think it's very important to mention the year, because we would have given you completely different advice if we had recorded this 50 years ago or 100 years from now. So if someone finds this podcast in 2224, you see how long it took me to work out what the year is going to be in 200 years. I'm tired too, apparently. Then I'm sure this might not be relevant anymore, this advice, because the world will be completely different. Maybe there will be no humans, maybe just AI, robots.
Oh, wow.
Okay. No, I'm just explaining why I mentioned the year. It's very important to mention the year. Okay. So I even put the notes down. We usually have no script, and we don't have any script today either, but I put some notes down because I have 5 main tips we want to share and elaborate on. And the first one, Yao has no idea what I'm going to say, by the way, but he's very good at improvising, so I trust you. I trust you, baby.
Brilliant. I'm fine.
I never call him baby. That's why I found that. Okay, it's quite funny.
I'm a bit worried now, but...
It's all right. Don't worry. So the first... Have a sip of your tea. So the first tip is, before I go any deeper, just to make this very clear, this is our tips, our advice, based on our personal experience. We are not parenting experts, no psychologists, nothing like that. So take this with a pinch of salt. We are 2 ordinary people who raised, I think, okay children, or are still raising. And this is what we've learned in the past 8.5 years. So just, before I dive in, I wanted to share this disclaimer. So the first tip is to always remember that you constantly model, that you're modeling all the time. So if you want your child to be kind and resilient or anything else, you have to be that first. Yeah? You can't be, say, rude. I'm not saying you are, but it's just an example, yeah? You can't be rude and disrespectful and expect your child to be kind. It will never work. Never ever, yeah? It doesn't matter what you tell them. They follow your example, not your advice, yeah? So I'd say that's the number one thing we all have to remember. We're not perfect in that respect. I think we are both kind, that you are more so. But resilient, I'm not always resilient or as confident as I would like to be. But it helps me to be more or to work on it, because I know that they are always watching what I do without them even realizing. Yeah, unconsciously, they always watch. So if I don't believe in myself, for instance, I remember, okay, but this is what I'm teaching them now. So I have more motivation to work on my weaknesses or my confidence, not just because of me anymore, but because of them.
But it's still okay. Don't feel like you're under the microscope. It's not like 1984 and Big Brother's watching you and things. You're not.
No, I don't think anyone would get it like this. Like, I think I'm making it clear that it's not like they're watching you under microscope, but say you don't even realize how much they soak up, how much they notice and sense. Yeah, doesn't mean you're not allowed to make mistakes, of course. It's just, this is not to put pressure on anyone, of course. This is just to make you aware. And this should be motivational rather than pressure.
But it's also how someone deems that being said, because that same thing can be seen completely different by different people, right? So someone sees that as a motivational piece, but then someone sees that as, well, you're kind of telling me that I need to be on my best behavior in order for my kids to kind of...
No. Because what is best behavior? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Resilience means that you even okay with your mistakes, yeah? That you learn from them. Yeah. So we don't want to model them, you're perfect, yeah? We're modeling resilience, confidence, and confidence doesn't mean you're perfect, that you don't make mistakes. It means even if you screw up, it doesn't break you. You're not going to wallow in self-pity for days, yeah? So that's what I mean.
No, and that's it. It's clear. You made it clear and stuff in that instance that we are not perfect. And even though we're coming out and turning around and saying these things, there are parents out there who've had years and years of experience and stuff with children and things. But this is only our perspective of what we know at this present time. We might find that, again, from 10 years from now, the same thing that if we came back to this same topic, it may completely change.
So what's the point of this episode?
No, but
it's just funny how.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, isn't it? The whole point is we can be open and turn around and say what we feel is. It may not necessarily be correct and absolutely correct, but it's just an opinion on it. But then, we could have, like, viewers could give their insights, their kind of viewpoints and stuff around it, to give a more rounded kind of view on what most people kind of think about. So it's a starter, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you agree what I said, that we should be what we want them to be?
I do agree that, absolutely, in terms of if you're turning around and you're going, oh, for fuck's sake, this and blah, 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 this and blah, but then you're expecting your kid to be, why are you swearing for? They're only swearing and they're only because they've seen it and stuff elsewhere and they think it's okay to do. So as parents, we have to take some degree of responsibility and stuff in that. Like I said, we're not perfect. And, you could be having an argument and say something and it's the only word that they turn around and pick up on. But if that's the norm and they hear it and they see it, don't be surprised and don't be shocked if you hear that from them.
Yeah.
Huh?
So maybe if we want our kids to be more peaceful, there should be more peace at home.
I think that ship sailed when they were about 3 years old, to be honest. Peace.
And I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Look at me, look through me, look by me. Oh, no, it's...
But at least you know, you're aware.
Yeah, no one is perfect in any of this, right? So we can turn around and say these things, but it's, like you said, it's a pinch of salt. It's a good way to start the conversations, and you may find that the conversations that occur as a part of this actually gives you more around the whole piece, right?
Yeah. Second one, it's all connected, by the way. It's not like you can't separate these things. So the second one, it's that it takes a village. Such a cliche, but it's so bloody true. We need help from others, and we need others to be involved. Because some parents feel like, no one has the right to tell my child what's right, what's wrong. Okay. And of course, like there are some boundaries, like you don't want other people to shout at your child or, go crazy. But
we've all got our own kind of, not hang-ups, but our own thing where we're protective of our children. Of course. There's no two ways about it. That's, if you go back to animal, this is what they do. They protect, or in some cases, depending on what episode you watch of Attenborough and stuff, they're there to protect their young. So their legacy kind of continues. Sorry, I'm going off on one. But
no, but if your child is rude, say, and you're not there, there with your friends, they can tell them. Of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. I grew up in an era where, okay, if I did something wrong, my mum, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, they wouldn't have a problem with picking me up on it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot, how much I feel about manners and so forth and things. But it didn't just stop there. Because I could, important.
Because if it was just your family, your immediate family, that wouldn't have had such an impact on you, I think.
It's a little bit limited. If I went down the shop and I turned around and I said to the man behind the counter or the woman behind the counter, and I said, "Oh, yeah, who do you think you are?" and blah, blah, blah. For one, I'd expect that person to turn around and have a go and stuff at me. But then, guarantee at some point that story is coming back to my mum or my dad and stuff. We'll find out. It will go around and it will come back and it'll be part 2. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that I can just do whatever I want here, there and everywhere, because you would normally find that you have aunties, you have friends of families and stuff here, they're all dotted around. And you would kind of hear if I'm being all nicey and stuff at home, but then I'm being a little arse and stuff outside, some of these conversations are coming back to my family. So if, say, for example, I'm not trying to pick, but if either Henry or Mason or whatever had, they were being rude somewhere, and one of our friends, mothers and dads and stuff of our, of their friends heard it and they said something, that to me is fine. Yeah. I'd expect them to say something.
How they say it, but
yes, there's still a limit and stuff to it. There's always a boundary and stuff. If you're turning around and absolutely going off and to the point where my child is like scared and whatever and things, then there's a problem. Yeah. But if it's a situation where they've turned around and said, you can't do that, that's wrong. That's not a very nice thing to say. And they kind of mention it and stuff to us. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
So get other people involved. I think most people are scared to tell because in this day and age, there's all like this. People are crazy about my child. You can't tell my child. But I think that's why lots of parents are scared to say anything, or people. But we need to change that, because otherwise, how is that gonna look like, this world, in few years?
We all know they're growing and they will make
They
mistakes.
need guidance.
Exactly.
It's not to cause them any harm.
No.
It's to guide them. And there is a reason they say it takes a village, because you can't always be there. You don't see them all the time. So of course you want others to help.
Exactly. And, you know, the aunts and uncles and stuff that surround them, as much as you will absolutely influence your children in how they grow. And I hope in a positive way in things as well.
Yeah. Now, this leads me to the next point, which is guilt. Mom guilt. Because I think dads don't have any guilt, do they?
I'm sure some dads do, but
yeah,
primarily.
It's not common.
Yeah, it's not on my radar, no.
Yeah. And I want to... You think? And I want to share a story with you here. When the twins went to Slovakia with my mom, and they spent 3 weeks there, almost 3 weeks, with my family. And then my mom brought them back here. And the reason being, like, we don't have to go into details, but basically we decided as a family this was the best option for either financial reasons and logistics and all kind of things. Basically, we decided that together. And the day before they were supposed to go, Henry was crying his eyes out, and he said he wants mommy to come as well. And if you are a parent, you can imagine how that felt, to me. So I was in pieces, like literally. And I was checking out flights, because I was determined, I'm gonna go. I can't cope with this. So I started looking and the prices were crazy. Yeah, we're talking July, so you can imagine. It was crazy prices, but I was feeling so guilty that I was planning to. And it's not easy to get back home because there is no direct flight, so it's always, we need to get connecting flight, and I would have to take the baby. So it would have been crazy. But I was I was convinced I'm going. I just can't. And you stopped me. But you didn't say you can't go. You said it between the lines, like, are you out of your mind? Remember?
Yeah.
What was happening in your mind then? Like, what did you see in that moment?
Because, again, in the context of, I understood and I got that they'd be upset that you weren't going as such, because I think previous years, even if it was a bit later, you kind of went and things. But there's a real opportunity and stuff at the moment with both of them to spend a bit of time with your mum, your dad,
sister,
their aunt, their cousin. They talk Slovaks quite well, but you always notice a considerable kind of increase when they go and spend some time there because they're immersed. So, and they get to do so much more, right? They get to go hiking and stuff with their nan, they're going swimming next to every other day. Literally, all we're getting is photos. Oh, we're at the pool. Mum, Nan's bought us another ice cream and all this,
She takes them so many places now.
Yeah. And it was just a moment that he was having where he was just unsure. He just missed his mum, and I got that. But the bigger picture and stuff there was, if we weren't sure about it, we wouldn't have let our kids go.
Yeah, exactly.
Your family are amazing, and they will look after our kids and everything like this. Great experience. But if it didn't, if there was any kind of inkling in our heads that there were anything that they couldn't deal with, we wouldn't have gone, or we would have just all gone together, right? But from Henry's point of view, it was the fact that we couldn't just let him kind of guilt trip us into coming and stuff along.
So you think he was guilt tripping?
I don't think he really meant to. Not like certain occasions when they try, but in this instance, there was a bit of, it was over the top. You know, him missing you and things like this, I get. And, you know, if he had to cry about it and stuff, I get. But I felt there was a little bit too much and stuff at the time.
Yeah.
And what he needed to do was, and for both of them, they've got to also have that kind of resilience and independence and stuff from us as well. You can still be with, you know, your family and still have an amazing time, not just being with mummy and daddy and stuff. But being with mummy and daddy doesn't make it the be all and end all, right? I get it. You'll miss us. That's fine. But actually, I know that once you're there and you start doing things, you'll probably forget us. You'll forget us within a heartbeat, and they have an amazing experience, don't they?
Yeah. So what happened then was I don't know. I think you convinced me somehow. Okay, this is crazy. So I didn't book any flight, and I was like, okay, let's just stay. And then I had an awful week, absolutely awful emotionally. But I saw that, like, the next day, they were sending us pictures, how great time they have. They were so happy. They were in this aqua park, and I was like, oh, this feels nice. And I realized that this is what helps them to be independent and resilient, to be able to be without us. Because if they can't be without us, then that's just not right. Yeah. Or if we are not capable of being without them, how is that going to help them? Yeah. It's very selfish, I think, if we are really honest with ourselves, when a mom or dad doesn't do, he doesn't let them be independent for some time or do something for themselves. I mean, as a mom, if you don't do something for yourself because of the guilt, then you're not doing that for your kids, you do it for you, so you don't feel guilty. You want to avoid the guilt because you know it's good for your child to have some time without you. So it's a tricky one, yeah, and it's also the fear of being judged by the society, you know. But at the end of the day, it's all about you and your kids. Like, what's the best for them? And I know, like, when I was this age, we used to go from school. We used to go away for 1 or 2 weeks every year, and that was the goal to teach us independency, yeah. And I think this is not the case anymore in this day and age. So we have to do it as parents. Of course, like you said, Yao, if 1 or few weeks apart impacts your relationship, like there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'm with them or we are with them the whole year. We have no family around. We don't get much break. So this is the only time we have. And that's okay. Like, it would it be bad if it was the other way around, that we only spent 3 weeks a year with them? That would be wrong, yeah. But if you have some break, they need that. It's good for them. It's good for them. For you, yeah, because they will leave one day. So if you are too attached, unhealthily attached, then you're gonna be screwed. And I saw what it does to people when they have this unhealthy attachment. It never goes right. Yeah, let's just say the least. It never ever goes right. If the child is too attached, I'm saying unhealthy attached, or a parent. Now, don't get me wrong. We want to have, and we do have, an amazing bond, a healthy, I believe, attachment. They know I'm there whatever they need. I'm emotionally present all the time, which is the most important thing. Because as a parent, you can be there physically all the time. But if you're not there emotionally, then the physical presence is nothing. Yeah. It's about the balance. It's about the harmony. They need both, but it's too much of everything is not good. That's it.
I think there's the bit in there that's really kind of important. You you yourselves as parents or a parent, if you're a single parent, and again, my hat's off to you and stuff. If you're a single parent, I still don't know how you do it. You're doing an amazing job just surviving and things, but you know if it's right or wrong. If anybody turns around and says to you, actually, I don't know how you could kind of do that because I could never do that, in the nicest possible way. And sorry if this is not too nice on podcast, but fuck you. I'm sorry, because I'm not. It's if you know if you know that your child's fine, and you've done the legwork to make sure that everything's okay. There's no safety issues. There's nothing wrong there. You having a break and stuff is so important for you as well as the child or children, because it allows you just to have a moment just to kind of release and come back to some kind of, okay, let's go for round two, but it's okay.
But you never know what other people go through. Yeah. What if this saves someone's lives? It's not our case, but for someone having one weekend, say, a break, can save their lives.
It could absolutely could do. Basically, however which way I've turned around and said it, it's about making sure that you've made the right decision for you and stuff as well as the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're by yourself, or you as a couple or throuple or whatever your relationship status and stuff is, wherever you are, and you're in that quiet time and you feel okay, that's it. Don't worry about what other people are turning around and saying and stuff, because it doesn't matter. Because you know what? To be honest, they're probably thinking, oh, fuck, I wish I could actually do that. Yeah. So they might even take it as an example and things.
Yeah.
As long as everything's okay, they're safe, you're safe, there's nothing really to be judged on. In fact, what should be done is other people should be kind of encouraging it and saying, look, realize you got some time out. Do you actually want to do anything? You probably haven't really had much time. Let's try and catch up and stuff while they're away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That supportive, that whole kind of village.
Yeah.
We're all here in it together because it's not easy. Let's all work together as a village, as a team.
Exactly.
As a family, a bigger family, in order to kind of move forward.
I love that. Yeah. I love you so much.
Okay, and don't tell everybody.
Back to the story, one important thing I forgot to say, that we then took baby out we only had baby out, one child, for 3 weeks. It was nice in many ways. So peaceful though. But if I could have enjoyed it properly, it would have been even better, because I was all over the place emotionally, like I said. But we took him to the soft play and I was just crying there, no? The whole Oh my God, now when I think about it, like, what the hell? I was so sad and guilty and everything. And that's the thing. I wasn't emotionally there for baby Al. Yeah? I was there physically the whole time, but in my mind, the 1 week I wasn't there at all. And I noticed that in moments when he was trying to show me something, and based on my reaction, he knew, but kids know if you're there, if you're present. And he saw I wasn't, yeah. That was like a mirror to me, like, oh, yeah, I have one child here and I'm just completely dismissing him. So that was a very good lesson for me. Anyway, I spoke to one friend then because I needed some advice on how to deal with that. It's so guilty. And she told me, don't worry, once they come back, they probably, after 5 minutes, they play on their PlayStation. And it was exactly the case. Oh, and they were so happy that, of course, we spoke to them every day. They had amazing holidays. They were happy. And I was so proud of myself that I sucked it up. It helped me to deal with lots of demons, because if you feel guilty, always it touches something unresolved in you that needs to be addressed. It's never about the child. It's always about something unresolved in you. So this experience helped me to face some of my demons and just deal with them. So next time it will be much easier. So I would advise every mom who has mom guilt to look at it this way. See it as an opportunity for growth and for both you and your child.
And what I like to pick on just in that moment there was the fact that you admitted and you turn around and you were openly saying that, that week or, those few days in that week where it wasn't great and stuff with baby Al, to try and show like the people that are listening here that it's not, we're not perfect. And, when we're trying to say these things about, the reflection or being present, physically present and being emotionally present and stuff, there are times that we're in those spots and things as well. So when we turn around and say this, don't think that we're being holier than thou in saying it, because we experience it and we do the same and stuff. So it's, I don't ever think that anybody that you listen to, they've had some level of experience and stuff with it. Don't ever think that it's a case of, oh, they're just amazing. Oh, and they just live this lifestyle. And it's not that. It's not that. Everybody goes through the ups and downs of these things. So that was cool. Thank you.
I don't like this episode. It
wasn't as good as the other one, but it'll do.
It's much better.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. Trust the universe. So we basically covered the next one I had, to help them be independent. It's so important. It's so bloody important. Even though it hurts us as moms, especially sometimes, to let them go and fly. It's so important. You're not doing them any favors if you just want to. I often compare it to a butterfly. No? When butterfly, you hold them and you have them, but they die. But if you let them fly, they always come back.
What?
Yeah. Much happier to come back and sit on your shoulder.
They could just fly and just have a life.
And be happy. Yeah. But either way, they're happy.
Okay.
Why can't you just say, "Oh, that's amazing, baby"?
Oh,
say, "Really?"
I'm not gonna just go, "Yeah, okay."
Oh, now you ruined the moment.
Okay. Here we are. We're back again.
We haven't argued today.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure we have time.
After this episode, yeah. So the last one is to talk to them and be there. Be there. We covered that already. Be there. But be there physically as well, of course. I'm not even the slightest implying that you shouldn't be there physically. But I think I explained that already, that it's about the balance. The emotional presence is, I think, often, what's the word? Underestimated. But do things with them, of course. Like if you are too busy at work or too busy tidying, too busy being somewhere in your mind, which is the worst because they feel it, then they can't go, they need you. They need you, especially when they're small or while they live with you, they need you. They need to spend time with you. But
if it really helps, being there in those moments could mean a whole lot less of, but dad, but mum, but mum, but mum, but mum, but mum. And then you're, oh, what? And you're like, oh. It saves you a bit of pain if that's something that will kind of preempt some things.
Exactly. And they fill their cup. They need to fill their cup. And especially small kids, and we see that with baby. He needs to fill his cup. He needs his cuddle, for sometimes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then he's fine. He just needs to fill his cup. So if you say, don't spend, say there is a weekend, say it's a weekend, you have time to spend together and you're busy to do other things, they will not behave
the way you
nice. Yeah. They'll be either too hyperactive or So it won't work, basically, yeah? So it's about the balance. Of course, you can't be their entertainer. And I think that's what goes wrong these days, that parents feel like they should be entertainers. It comes back to the village. Kids should play together with other kids, with the siblings, or on their own, as well as with the parents. So it shouldn't be just parents or just other kids or just themselves. It's about the balance, like in everything in life. So make sure you're there for them. Yeah, I know we are busy people. Everyone is busy, but sometimes we're busy with the wrong things, no? And we should be busier with other things that matter more. It's nice, no? If you see when we take them for trips or we do stuff, it's completely different experience, energy. They talk to us more than it's different experience, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, we are involved in that situation because we do have times when we've got a lot of things flying around and things. But again, I don't think we'll need to worry that they haven't, like you said, it's not the entertainer thing that you've got to do every other second of the day and things, because
they need to be bored as well. They need to, that's a skill to know how to be bored and to just figure it out yourself.
Yeah. Being able to use their imagination and stuff at times, that's a skill. We all, like growing up, we made games out of the most ridiculous things that we could find and things. And that in itself is a life lesson.
Yeah.
You know, they need to also just be happy, just being by themselves at times.
Yeah, it leads to independence, because if you entertain them all the time, you do everything for them, you don't spend any minute without them, then that can't go right, no? And when they leave one day,
they're relying on something.
They can't cope as well as, other children who were raised to be more independent. So that's something to consider as well.
Yeah, and we're learning.
Yeah.
We're learning as well. Yeah. So, but yeah, these are...
Because we're raising them to let them go one day, and to let them go to be happy. This is the goal of parenting, not to have them on a leash forever.
I'm raising them to leave the house and change the locks. And I have told them a few times and things, and I said, okay, 13 and a half is probably a little bit too early. But no, I'm joking. No, but at the end of the day, all we're doing is instilling in them.
Yeah, so that they have happy lives. Yeah. That's what we want.
They're confident, able to kind of speak their mind, able to say no when they want to say no. Just be able to kind of have an idea. I want to go away and I want to travel here. I want to do that. And just being able to kind of just get up and go and do it. That's fine.
And we don't want them to feel like they can't do whatever they want because we will be unhappy, or I don't know, some kids struggle to leave their parents because they've emotionally blackmailed them. Often unconsciously, of course, parents do it, but they're not capable of being away from their kids. Yeah. And I understand that completely, but I don't think it's right. We need to let them fly. We need to let them be happy. If they want to be somewhere else and they're happy, it would hurt me. Oh my God, you know me. Like I would be in pieces if my kids left the country, for instance. But it's not about me. Yeah, their future. It's about them.
As long as they can look after themselves.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing now.
Yeah. They look after themselves. They can take care of themselves physically as well as emotionally. Have that kind of thinking towards people who you meet, who, whether they're, different race, different culture, they're still that level of love and respect and stuff for other people. That means I'm happy we've done the right thing.
Yeah, because we know we won't be around forever.
Exactly.
And I want to leave this world knowing they're okay, that they're confident, they're kind people, and they'll be all right. That's what I want.
Yeah.
If we had, say, for instance, unhealthy attachment, they're not capable of functioning without me being around, then how could I be peaceful, or how could I be at peace leaving this world?
And if not, they've just got a shed load of money.
And they say you can't buy happiness. People just don't know where to shop. Right?
Okay, we'll keep that in, but we're joking.
Yeah.
Right.
Are
Okay.
we? Okay. And the last one, it was to, that's all connected, like I said, but to talk to them. Talk to them. Make sure they talk to you. That's so important. And how do you make sure they talk to you? You talk to them. Again, yeah, you're modeling. Talk to them about your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, your stories. That helps them open up and see it's safe to talk, but you have to know how to talk to them and when. Say they come from school, they're tired or hungry, and ask them, how was school? And they say, good. I'm not expecting anything more than that. Or I ask a different question like, what did you like today? Yeah. Or something interesting happens. And if they don't want to talk in that moment, it's okay. And they usually tell me at bedtime when they go to bed, yeah? So don't force it if they don't want to talk to you when you are ready. They might not be ready. But just make sure they know they can talk to you about anything. That's important. Even if we are angry, we always make sure you still have to tell us, even when we are angry, when you do something bad, we love you the most in this world. No one loves you more than us. No one cares about you more than us. We are your parents. That's why you come to us first.
You have to be honest with us.
Yeah.
That's the be all and end all. That psychological safety in knowing that they can turn around and tell you anything and everything. You may still be upset, but they can turn around and they should be able to. And again, sometimes it will take time for kids to feel that confidence in order to do that. But yeah.
Just talk to them. You talk to them and it will come naturally, I think. I think I overshare sometimes.
No.
But.
No. There's absolutely no. How can you say that?
But it's still better than undershare, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, was I undersharing?
Brilliant. So I think we covered everything we wanted today. We could talk about this forever, of course. It's a never-ending story. Yeah. Never-ending story. Never. But we hope you enjoyed this, that this was helpful in some way. If you did, please share this episode with someone, with other people, and leave us a review. And talk to us, come back to us with your feedback. On Instagram, we're under Life in Black and White.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think at the beginning of this, we were trying to turn around and say that some of the conversations that we have, they're more of a platform to kind of bring out the wider conversations and, like you said, the feedback and things. So anything on here, if you've got a slight different view or, there's more input that you feel because you've had more experience with your kids or, anything that kind of relates to this, please just give us those information because other people can kind of turn around and see it and kind of learn from it and things as well. So
if you just drop us a DM on Instagram, that would be amazing.
You could even, in future episodes, turn around and kind of try and maybe read through some of it and give people more of an overview of certain things that we go through.
Yeah, exactly. So please do that if you can. And don't forget to leave us a review, 5-star review. I hate it when people say it. I don't know why I said it, because it's like, don't tell me what kind of review I should leave. I'm going to leave what I want to leave.
To be honest, if it's not a 5-star review, yeah, just don't bother. No, I'm joking. No.
Well, at least 4.
Oh, we're 5-star reviews all the way. Just get on board.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening and see you in 2 weeks.